Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Let's go, let's go.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Flush to his right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Bortles to throw on second down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Bortles will keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They keep it with Fournette on first down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. They run with Ajayi. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Hang in there now.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and, in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On second down, here's Bortles. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 23 yards on the play. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go, here we go.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On play action, it's Bortles. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia coming back onto the field. We've kind of documented their injury issues when we were talking about Carson Wentz earlier. You mentioned Alshon Jeffrey been out, Jay Ajayi, issues at running back. But some other guys, they've really stepped up, have they not, CD?
They certainly have. And you remember Corey Clement, one of the heroes in their Super Bowl win with a touchdown catch in that game. He had 56 yards rushing, as did Wendell Smallwood. And Dallas Goedert, the rookie tight end out of South Dakota State, best game of his young career, 7 catches, 73 yards, and his first NFL touchdown.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's Ajayi. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wentz now to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This is Ajayi. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking deep for his tight end Ertz. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Yannick Ngakoue in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Bortles. He'll buy some time right. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Following the sack, third and long for Bortles and the Jags. Now Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Run.
Now a play fake. Wentz rolling to his right. Room here to run. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And he is going to lose yardage here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. To throw is Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now it's Bortles. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. A dump off to Sproles. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Great. There we go. Back.
To throw, it's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. That is incomplete. DJ Hayden right there on the coverage. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. The 20. Jay Ajayi's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, 41 yards. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. Here's Bortles to throw. And he is going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Bortles. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Shotgun now for Bortles. Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. Bortles to the former Jets, Seferian-Jenkins for the Jags' 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. It's caught by Moncrief. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing on first down is Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Bortles now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cole. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Bortles. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Jaguars on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now Bortles again. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. To throw, it's Bortles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Oh, he's got a little daylight and avoids the contact by sliding. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down.
Spread right, 7-2.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Bannon in there to get him for a loss of 5.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Now Bortles. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball. Getting it away from them because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now Wentz on third down. And he connects with Ertz. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 48 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They'll roll him out right. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing is Bortles. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing now is Bortles. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Corey Graham. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And able to break tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Bortles got to have this one. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
11.
One final try now for Bortles. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And the kick is good, so they avoid the shutout.